Hi, Roma.
Hi.
Um, Hi. I just excuse this. We are sort of recording this in lockdown, and I think my daughter's going through an exercise class somewhere online. So these are the challenges of our
Yes.
times. So I just I mean talking to you, talking to a psychologist, and all that. I just sort of wonder, like a lot of people are sort of really sort of nervous, and saying कि भाई कमरे में होता क्या है? How do I start? मैं क्या बोलूं? I mean, what is it that takes place in there? People are sort of very wary and nervous of going in. So, few pointers from you, like how do you start? What happens? What really takes place? That would be great.
Yeah. Thank you, Leena, for asking that question. It's very important for everybody to understand what really happens in that room. So, well, it's a just walk in and people just come in with their problem. Some of them are very easily talking about their problems, but some of us have issues talking about their problems. So when a person comes in, I'll give you an example, and very often the person will say, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what I'm supposed to talk. And the therapist will always sit there and say, it's all right. Do you think you need a glass of water? Maybe I can get you some water. You begin from anywhere. I'm there to listen to you. So the therapist's role is just basically listening to the client, making the client very comfortable in talking. And also, I think everybody needs to understand that there is no miracle or magic going to happen in that room with the therapist. It's not the one session which is going to be very, very helpful. These are a couple of sessions, many sessions that will happen where the person will be able to open up. And the client starts beginning to develop trust with the therapist, where he or she will come and talk about their own personal life issues, which they have never shared it with anyone. There are so many of their experiences where they've never shared with anyone, and they feel that they are vulnerable if they share it. So the therapist creates a environment where the client gets more comfortable by and by, and there is no one suggestion which is going to help the client, but the mere fact that the client is coming and talking, is venting out, is the biggest help that is there for the
Yeah.
therapist's office.
Yeah, thanks, Roma, for sharing this because like sometimes people feel कि भाई कोई जादू टोना तो नहीं होता है वहाँ पे, you know. I don't know what are people going to hypnotize me or something like that. I'll tell you, I had a sort of a personal experience, and we had somebody in our family who was very sick, and I remember this went on, who was emotionally sick, mentally sick. So it required quite a lot of courage on my part. I remember I was also a lot younger at that time, and I went to meet the therapist. For the first half an hour, I couldn't speak. And the therapist sat quietly, he sat quietly, and I sat quietly. And he said, yes, he offered me a glass of water and all that. But I just couldn't speak.
Yeah.
I think it was half an hour, 40 minutes of complete silence. And he didn't break it either. He just sort of allowed me time to. So, is this sort of quite normal, or how does it work?
Lina, it's absolutely normal. All of us are different. Some of us are wired and just okay, not feel that vulnerable to come and talk about our story, our journey of our lives, or
Hmm.
something that is bothering me.
Hmm.
But some of us are just very closed. We've never spoken about so many things, and you also feel that somebody else is going to listen to you. What if this person goes and tells the whole world?
World,
But
yeah.
I would like to say that psychotherapists or therapist counselors do not go and talk about it. There is a lot of confidentiality which is there. We do not go and talk about clients anywhere. And if the client actually bumps into us, even socially, we as therapists are not going to go and say hello to them unless they come and say hello to us. So that's the kind of confidentiality and ethics and practice which is there. And we don't talk about their problems. We don't sit and gossip about them. In fact, when the client goes away from the room, I think the job of the therapist starts there, because you start processing what are the next steps you can do, what is it that you can help this person with. Can you start telling the person to start with a journal, or start with some physical
Mhm.
activity, or what is it that is going to help him or her deal with their life's problems. So it is a slow process. It is not an overnight journey that I've gone to the therapist and it's a quick fix. No, it isn't a quick fix. So you need to continue, and there is a therapist client trust which needs to develop. And when that trust develops, your journey starts getting much easier. The therapist gives you tools to deal with issues in your life, makes you understand how your thought process is creating a problem for yourself. The therapist does not say somebody else has a problem. The therapist will say there will be problems and challenges in your life, but I have to deal with adversities. I have to learn to take on challenges and will help you deal with those challenges.
Thanks. Yeah, that's so true. And you won't believe it, that time when I went there, for me, that the silence and me not being able to talk was itself listening, you
Absolutely.
know. So, and that really actually helped me trust the person. I thought like he had seen me at my most vulnerable, that I couldn't even open my mouth. I was so sort of, I don't know, overwhelmed by
Yeah.
everything that had gone on in my life. And, but that silence was listening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a lot of people think that therapists will become friends to their clients, but that's very untrue. We're not going to be friends with
Okay.
any
Mm,
client.
mm,
We will only listen to them.
mm,
We will guide them. We will help
mm,
them. We will
mm,
help them process themselves, and understand what is happening in their life. So we're not going to be sitting over a coffee in a coffee bar and chatting with each other. That's not what therapists will actually be doing. So therapists will actually keep your confidentiality and help you, and will keep those notes with you also, and will also take consent. But there are some times when a client is maybe in a very risky situation, you know then I might, as a therapist, might have to tell his or her family members, so that we can help that person not take on any more risks. And especially if the person is showing signs of suicide, or if a child is talking about suicide, then it is imperative that the
yeah.
therapist will speak to the caretaker or the family members, so that there is some assistance there. And the therapist very often might also refer you to a psychiatrist, especially if the therapist, after a few sessions, feel that the depression is far more deeper and would need some medication to calm the person down, and also will help the person deal with many more chemical changes which are already taken place.
Oh, wow. Thank you. That's really wonderful. And it's good to know that it doesn't mean that because I'm going to a therapist, that the therapist is supposed to become my best friend. The
No.
therapist is still somebody whom I go to, whom I look at, who gives me advice, who helps me cope with my scenario. I think that's, from a layman's perspective, very often we think, oh, this is a strange person I'm going to, am I supposed to bear everything, bare my soul to that person? Is that person going to become my best friend? But no, you're still my therapist. Thank you. Thanks for
Thank you.
sharing that. Yeah.
Thank you, Lena.
Thanks.